Welcome to A Quest for Metal. Today we are ranking Trivium's albums from my least favourite to my favourite. And I did a tier list before for Trivium, but now their new album's come out, What the Dead Men Say, and it's fucking awesome. I'll tell you right now, it's fucking awesome. But will it be top? Will it be in the top 3? Who knows? Let's sit back, relax, and enjoy the presentation. But before you do, let me know down below what's your favourite Trivium album, what's your least favourite, and what do you think of the new album? Let me know and let's get started with the video. So coming in last for me is Silence in the Snow. There's only really 2 Trivium albums I'm not the biggest fan of, and this is the weakest for me. It's a bit more ballad heavy, this one. A lot of people shit on the Crusade. There's so many fucking anthems on that album, sorry. There's so many anthems and it's a lot heavier, but this one just feels a bit ballady. The song Silence in the Snow, I'm not a big fan of. Till the World Go Cold, not a big fan of. So a lot of these songs that are supposed to be singles, don't really tickle my itch. Don't scratch my itch. So this album is the weakest for Trivium. It's not bad though. Trivium don't do bad albums. So even though it's last, I still find enjoyment in it. It's just for me, when I'm gonna think of a Trivium album to put on, these bottom 2, I'm not gonna go to. The same can be said for Vengeance Falls, which is my next pick. This one, which was, I don't know if it was mixed or produced by David Draymond, and it has a kind of metallic sound to it, kind of industrial flair to this album, and it's a lot heavier than Silence in the Snow, I'll give you that, but the sound design, not the biggest fan of it on this album, not the biggest fan of it, but the songs themselves, actually pretty fucking good. Strife especially, is fucking awesome, Brave This Storm. So this album has standout moments, it's heavier, it's more interesting than Silence in the Snow, but it just kind of lacks production. The production value, just not a big fan. So, yeah, this is coming in second to last. Again, these bottom 2, don't really play them too often. These are the 2 that I won't say bad again. They're not bad. They're just not, for me, not my cup of tea. I prefer the later ones they did. I prefer the early ones they did. So let's get stuck in with some of the juicy ones. Next up is Ember to Inferno, the debut. And this one is raw, intense, aggressive, one of the heaviest albums. One of the coolest albums, and I really enjoy this album a lot. It may be, here, kind of low down, but this is a big step up from those 2. Now, I play this constantly. It's just the others have more memorable shit on, I think. This is great from start to finish, but the standouts, not as good as, say, Ascendancy, or Shogun, or, any of the other fucking albums that they did. But it's still fantastic, and if you've never heard of this one, because most people push Ascendancy in people's faces, or again, like I said, Shogun, or even the newer ones. They might not know this one even exists, but this one's fucking flawless. I can't find a fault in this one. Great debut from these guys. They kind of refine their sound and get better, I think, as time goes on. But this one, great start for the band. And I thoroughly enjoy it. So next up is The Crusade. This one gets shit on a lot for sounding too much like Metallica. Sounds too much like Metallica. Metallica sounds good. So this album sounds fucking good. And some of these songs are some of my best. Entrance of the Conflagration is fucking amazing. Anthem, We Are the Fire is fun as all hell. We are the fire! Dun, 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 dun. It's too fun, that song. And Detonation, Becoming the Dragon. There's nothing wrong with this album. This album's fucking awesome. I don't know why people hate it. I think people should give it a second chance. And if I was going to do an underrated albums video, this one might go on it. I know it's middle of the pack at the moment in the ranking, but I think it's fucking great. I think you should give it more love, because it's fucking great. Next up is the latest, What the Dead Men Say, and this is an awesome album. So many good songs like What the Dead Men Say, like Catastrophist, which is such a sing-alongable chorus. The reason why it's not higher is because I've had more time with the other albums, which I love. With this album, I've only had, it came out this year? So it's going to go kind of high middle, because it only came out this year, and I've had more time with Sin in the Sentence and the other albums, more time for it to settle. But this album's fucking awesome. Amongst the Shadows and the Stones being a fucking amazing song. Bleed Into Me, I've shat on that song before. I don't really like that song. It's ballady. I'm not a big ballad guy. It's too slow. Don't like it. There is one ballad by Trivium, which is one of the best songs I've ever done, which we'll get to, maybe at the number 1 spot. Spoiler, but yeah, this album's awesome. It just, maybe in a couple of years, it'll go a lot higher, but for now, It's going here. So next up, The Sin and the Sentence. This is a more proggy album for Trivium, and I enjoy that about this album. The songs, just the riffs and the drumming in it is just so goddamn crisp and on point. Betrayer, how good is that? The title track, Sin and the Sentence. Beyond Oblivion. These songs kick you in the balls. You know, your balls just kind of explode out the sides of your sack. What am I talking about? But it feels good. It's a good experience. Your dopamine's like, whoop, right up. This is a more experimentally album, an interesting album, and it's one of my favourite albums. So it's going higher than the latest one because, again, more time with these songs. Love them more. So, of course, it's going higher. Of course it's going higher. So next up is In Waves. How good is that fucking song? In Waves. Another one of the heaviest albums by Trivium. That song, and Dust Dismantled, one of my favourite songs by Trivium. Dust Dismantled. That chorus is bloody beautiful. Bloody beautiful. Built to Fall's fucking awesome as well in Black. This album has everything. I do think it's a bit of a step down from Shogun, but it's amazing anyway. And Shogun's so good that being a bit of a step down is not a bad thing. You know, it's not a bad thing. This album, I love it. I love it. I love it. I even love the art. The art's fucking fantastic. Nothing but praise for this album. It's heavy as fuck. I love it to pieces. And it's going here. So coming in at number 2, I just mentioned it, Shogun. Shogun is number 2, and it's so close with number 1. So close. Shogun has this kind of Japanese style to the whole album. And it's just, it works so well. It works so well. I love the lyrics. I love the sound of it. I love the production. I love how proggy some of the songs are. Karitsi Gomen has got to be one of the best Trivium songs ever fucking made. We'll Take Their Fucking Heads. Holy shit. Into the Mouth of Hell We March. Awesome as well. And Blood Rains Down from the Sky. Throes of Perdition. I'm so tempted to just change this to number 1. This is that good. I'm almost tempted to change it to number 1, but it's going here. I love this one to pieces. It's a 10 out of fucking 10. One of the best Trivium albums. But there can only be number one. And you all know what it is. It's Ascendancy. It's the album that made them big. It's the album with all the hits on. It's the ones with all the ones they play live on. The best album cover. It's the best. It's the best. And the ballad I was talking about, Dying in Your Arms. Holy shit. I love that song. And like Light to Flies, I think that's what it's called. The song which was playing in Smoking Aces when the German guys just kind of shoot Ben Affleck. Always remember that. And that's how I got into Trivium, I think. From that fucking movie. So, big up Smoking Aces. The Rammstein looking guys. Fuck yes. That song is amazing. So's Dying in Your Arms. Pull Harder, Strings of Your Martyr. Pull Harder, Strings, Martyr. Come on. Gunshot to the Head of Trepidation. Declaration. This album has everything you want. It's the best Trivium album of all fucking time. I goddamn love it. And it's easily taking the number 1 spot. So let me know what you guys thought down below. What's your favourite Trivium album? What's your least favourite? Let me know and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.